y'all. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. Welcome to the Trademark Like a Boss show. I'm Radiance Harris, aka the Trademark Goddess, and I'm excited about today for two reasons. Okay, so today is officially the 2-year anniversary of publishing Trademark Like a Boss, the ultimate step-by-step guide to protecting your brand. So that's my book. Get a copy if you haven't done so yet. And then the second reason I'm excited is because I have my client Acquania Escarne joining me today, and we're going to be talking about the purpose of money. So if you're watching live, let us know in the chat, say hello. If you're watching the replay, be sure to drop the hashtag replay. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Acquania.
Hey, welcome. Thank you. I'm just super excited to be here.
Me too.
You know, I'm one of your number one fans. Aww. And so it's an honor to even be a part of this show with you to talk about my experience being a trademark boss.
Yes.
I'm still getting used to saying that.
Well, formally introduce yourself. Let our viewers know who you are, what you do, and who you serve.
I am Acquania Escarne, the creator and founder of The Purpose of Money, a platform that teaches women how to build wealth through real estate and life insurance. I love talking about money. I have a platform on my website, a podcast also called The Purpose of Money, and I'm also very active on Instagram at The Purpose of Money.
I love it. So tell us, what made you start The Purpose of Money? What made you go into business?
Oh man. So it's a combination of things. I've always been a sucker for personal finance since I was in high school, actually. And my dad gave me Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But me wanting to teach other people about money and help them with their finances didn't come until 2015. I had been living in Dubai for 3 years. My husband and kids came back home. We settled here, and I read this article that said Americans don't have $500 saved for an emergency. And I was like, what? Like, how is that possible? And this was before the government shutdown. This was before the pandemic. This was like, to me, a time where I would hope people could have $500. But the article elaborated to say that when a car breaks down or a medical bill comes up and it's about $500, it throws people off budget and they resort to credit card debt or payday loans. So I hopped on Facebook and was like, hey, let's save $500 together, and every week I would post inspiration, tell people to save $1 more than they did last year until we got to our $500 goal. And so many people were like, oh my God, this is fun. You're really good at this. Like, we think you should do more. And so I didn't exactly create The Purpose of Money at that time, but that kind of sparked the idea of one day I want to have a larger platform. So I started with freelance writing, and one of my clients actually told me, you should check out FinCon, this conference where money nerds meet. I went to FinCon in 2018. I was absolutely inspired. Literally, after I left that conference on a Sunday, I bought thepurposeofmoney.com domain. I started my website. I was like ready to go.
I love that. So how long have you been in business now? What year is this for you?
So it's 2020. It's 2022, right?
Yeah.
We don't.
About to be 2023.
Yes, it's about to be 2023. So it's weird. I did create my first business in 2015. It was RRG Investments, but we focused on investing in real estate at that time. And then 2018, I created The Purpose of Money, which is, under the RRG Investments umbrella in a way. And now that's how I'm combining the life insurance, the real estate, and the financial literacy. So The Purpose of Money is the baby, being just created in 2018. But RRG Investments is like the mama bear created, 7 years ago? So 7 years for that, and 5 years or 3 years later, The Purpose of Money.
I love it. That's awesome. So tell us, what are your top 3 tips for someone who is trying to achieve financial freedom or achieve a life or business that they love? Like, what are, I guess, your go-to top 3 tips for that?
So my first tip is it's never too late to get started. I think you can start wherever you are, whenever you want to, but I say start now. Because I discovered entrepreneurship for myself in 2015, but I wish I started earlier. I feel like had I started earlier, I would be well beyond where I am now, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I feel like that's the first thing. Don't put in your head you got to have a certain amount of money, or you have to have a certain presence, you have to have the website, the this, the that. Just start. I started giving free financial literacy like talks and helping people make budgets for free. I did it for free to figure out if it was a need and that I could do it. Once I got testimonials, I used those to build a platform that resulted in paying clients. So second tip is don't be afraid to start your business and do something for free as long as it's legal. Uh, we're not out in these streets breaking the law. But try to balance out either a lower cost for the service or free until you get the kinks out of that service that you want to offer. And then my third tip is, give yourself grace. I think as an entrepreneur, as a mom, and then as a 9-to-5er, I balance a lot of stuff. And sometimes I get really beat up. I beat myself up over where I am or where I'm not. And I've had to come to realize that everything that you're meant to have will come to you in time. And so you just have to give yourself grace. And if you surround yourself around entrepreneurs, like-minded individuals who will keep you motivated, you'll be successful. So that's my fourth tip. Surround yourself around people who will keep you motivated and help you be successful.
I love that. I really like your point about just start and give yourself grace in the process. I think we all have a misconception that you got to have a whole bunch of money to start saving, investing, and all of that. But it's just like, just start with the basics. I think that it was an important point because I think people are kind of like hesitant to do that because maybe they only have $500 in savings. So they're like, well, where would I even start? Can I even start? But it sounds like you just start with whatever you have. Even if it's a little bit, it's better than nothing, right?
Absolutely. Start wherever you are. $25 a week, putting into your own work retirement account, anything. Just start.
I love that. Okay, so we're going to take a little dive over to the trademark and what motivated you to trademark. We did two for you, the purpose of money and
building generational wealth. My tagline: building generational wealth $1 at a time.
That's correct.
So I'm gonna be that person who's gonna say, don't do what I did. Okay. What I did was I waited to get the trademark because I was like, oh, I gotta have this. I have to have this money. I have to have this in place, or I'm not going to be able to do it. And I had convinced myself I couldn't afford to do it, but didn't know what it was going to cost. So see, like so many people do this with a lot of goals. They put in their head they can't afford to do it, but they don't even do the research to find out what is the cost. So the first thing I did when I was ready was I talked to my lawyer friend and said, who do you know who trademarks? And he referred me to you. The second thing is, I met with you to be comfortable with you, to make sure that you're the person I wanted to go on this journey with, because in my research, I did learn that it takes a while. And you may have paperwork that you have to process. You may have questions you have to answer, and you may have this person in your life for a year or more. Wow.
And we've been together for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. So I don't know if you remember, but we had a few phone dates before I dived right in. But I was willing to make that investment because I saw where my business was going. And truth be told, I didn't want to be stuck. And I had heard rumors like, oh my God, I finally tried to trademark and someone has it. And they're not even using it, but I can't take it from them because they have it and they swear they're going to use it, or they used it once last year and they're probably never using it again, but I can't have it. And I was like, well, I don't want that. The purpose of money is my brand. Like, I need a trademark. So it was a combination of fear. It was also opportunity. When the right circumstances come together and opportunities presented. And in my case, it was 2020. My business exploded in 2020. I suddenly had excess income And I said, Lord, I don't know if more is coming. So let me put it to the things that I need. And I was like, I need to trademark right now.
Yeah,
So that was the other reason is it was time. I saw where the business was going and I knew that now I have the money. There are no excuses.
right. Yeah, I like what your point you made about like the emotion it invoked in you to think about if somebody else had already trademarked like the purpose of money and
Mhm.
their like if someone else had already beat you to it, like you would have been pissed, you would have been angry, you would have been all of these things. And that's what I tell people is like, they're like, well, when should I trademark? Should I trademark this? I was like, well, if it really would piss you off and you'd be really upset like that someone else ended up beating you to it, then it's time to get moving. So it sounds like that was your motivating force. So tell me what has, I guess, what do you feel like getting a trademark or getting trademarks, plural, has done for your business?
Well, it's definitely established a brand and a expectation, like when you put that R behind it, it's a whole nother level of respect
Yeah,
on your name, respect on your tagline, and then also just kind of defining like, I own this is mine, and I'm going to put it on everything that I make now. So that, and you can be assured that there's the credibility behind the product, right?
yeah,
I am a person who has invested in my brand and will continue to do so. And when you buy my products, I stand by the quality of those products, right? I also think it protects me from Joe Schmo stealing my ideas, my concept, what it is I'm trying to do. And I have faith that that's working. I've also continued to work with you on making sure that no one's out there using my trademark in any bad, malicious ways or
right.
against my permission.
Yeah,
Because I realize as I build my team in my business, I need to have an attorney on it. And I want you to specifically focus on helping me protect the trademark. And so that was a decision I made this year. Once we got approved, I was like, I also want you on a retainer relationship so that you can help me protect it.
yeah,
I feel like that's just the steps that most professionals should take when they're building a business that they know is going to be bigger than them one day.
yeah.
And that's the steps that I'm taking now to ensure I'm protected.
I love that. So what would you say to someone? So I would say the biggest, I guess, objection I receive is that it costs too much or I can't start right now, I don't have the money. So what would you recommend to someone who feels like they don't have the money or they need to maybe save up for the money or maybe budget for the money? Like what would you say to someone who's saying that money is in the way of them protecting their brand?
So my first thing would be you can't afford not to trademark, because if you build an entire house with no foundation, what do you have left when it crumbles, right? Nothing.
Mhm.
And I could not imagine building courses, a website, a podcast centered around a brand that I don't own. And then being shocked when someone else who does
Right.
own it, comes after me to tell me to stop doing what I'm doing. And this is my livelihood, right? So I also prioritize trademarking before pursuing full-time entrepreneurship, because once my livelihood is based on my business 100%, I can't afford to make mistakes like that. But if someone's in a position where they can't afford to, you should save like I did. Or the opportunity comes where you expand your business and you can use some of your excess profits. I'd also say get your book. I mean, you
Yeah,
provide the book
I
as a
do.
resource
I do. Yes.
at a lower price mark to help
Way
those
lower price.
who want to DIY this whole
Right.
experience. Now,
Exactly.
do I want to do my own trademark? No. But
No.
you have provided guidance for those who do. So I'm always a fan. I'm a big reader as well. And I'm always a fan that, what you don't know how to do, you can learn, but you can read about first and then hire the professionals. That's my perspective. And I
Yeah.
think that's a mindset business owners need to have, and they will find the money. I'm very big about abundance. And if I need the money, I will sell a product, I will get a new client, I will
Yeah.
make it happen so that I can afford the trademark, right? So that's
Absolutely.
what people should be doing.
Yeah, I was at a conference back in June and Myron Golden was speaking and he said something about like people like business owners with like the poor mindset look at the cost or the price and they ignore the opportunity. And then those with the wealth mindset see the opportunity and ignore the cost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's about, what is the opportunity here? What is the benefit here? Let me figure out how I can do this.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's all it takes. Because if you're an entrepreneur, you're supposed to make money. So
Right.
figure
You're
out what
supposed
you need.
to.
Yeah,
That
what
is
is it that you need to pay for now? Make the
yeah.
money. So
Right.
that's my perspective, and I'm embracing that more and more. I know it's hard, especially if
Yeah.
you're new to entrepreneurship, but
Right.
it's the only way to do it,
Yeah.
because you're always going to need something for your business, but you need to definitely invest in the things that protect your business.
Yeah. And like you said, like having the 9 to 5 and the business, I guess it gives you a little bit more room and flexibility to make those investments, to take those risks, because you do have steady income versus those who kind of jump. I jumped in with both feet. They had no side help, nothing. It was just I can't juggle 2 law firm jobs. So I was like, okay, we gonna do this. So I think definitely if you have that 9 to 5 and you're having that business, that side hustle that'll eventually be your full time, like that is ideal, because you'll have like the, I guess, additional resources to really invest in the business and create a business that you love, and that could potentially be your full time thing for sure.
Yeah, that's true. I will say, one of the things that I personally prided myself on, and I think it's important to do, is I have eased my way into full entrepreneurship, and I'm not ashamed of that.
Yeah.
I have 2 kids, a husband, and a mortgage.
Yeah.
I know what my priorities are, and I'm not afraid to admit that I got to pay these bills to feed these kids to get this
Absolutely.
through.
Right.
So I've eased into it, but I've also made it a point that my business has to pay for itself. I gave myself the initial startup costs when I did 2015's RRD investments, and that's it. I have not asked for my household to contribute any additional money to my business since then, because I said it's not a hobby, it's
Yeah.
not a game. You need
Yeah.
to generate income. And once I got serious about that, that forced me to prioritize what are business expenses that I should be budgeting for, planning for, and where can I make the income to pay for it, because I don't want to take from my household. But I agree with you that I have flexibility, because I don't have to use all of my income from my business to pay my
Right.
bills. I
Right.
have the 9 to 5 to do that. But this past year, I've really been transitioning and focusing on making sure that the business can support my life, so that if I choose to leave my job in the future, I know that I can afford to do it.
Yes, absolutely. So where can our viewers find you if they want to learn more about the purpose of money and maybe schedule a call with you? Where can they find you and connect with
Absolutely. Check me out at thepurposeofmoney.com. You can get a free consultation with me anytime. But follow me on Instagram as well at The Purpose of Money. In my bio in the link, you can do a free consultation. You could check out my website and check out my podcast, The Purpose of Money. But I'm available to help you guys with your finances, get you into your first real estate deal, or get you life insurance. So check me out.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. Well, you guys, thank you for tuning in to today's show. Definitely check out Acquania's website, her podcast, follow her Instagram. She's always giving amazing nuggets about investing and life insurance. And I think you have a challenge or something going on right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go,
So-
girl. There's a real estate challenge going on right now. It's free, and we go live at 7 p.m. every single night. Check out bit.ly.com, bit.ly /POMRE challenge, POMRE challenge on Bitly.
Love it. Yeah, definitely check out her challenge, check out her site. She's got so much information. And thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't gotten a copy of the Trademark Like a Boss book, today is the day. We're celebrating 2 years. And also feel free to schedule a trademark strategy call with me so that we can talk about your trademark needs and develop a strategy moving forward. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Till next time, take care. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.